Well, Iowa's congressional leaders asked President-elect Donald Trump to dump the waters of the U.S. rule as soon as he's sworn into office. Trump says he plans to slash regulations in his first 100 days in office. In a letter, Iowa leaders say WOTUS is a great candidate, calling it an economic assault on small businesses, manufacturing, and agriculture, end quote. A federal court in Cincinnati is currently hearing the case, with oral arguments set to begin in March. And while Iowans argue against the rule, the EPA's administrator continues to defend it, saying the agency took agriculture's concerns into account and that the rule is required by the Supreme Court. Well, today, the Environmental Protection Agency also released its final Renewable Fuel Standard, Renewable Volume Obligations for 2017. The agency finalized a total renewable fuel volume of 19.28. Joining us by phone is President and CEO of the Renewable Fuels Association, Bob Dinneen. Bob, thank you for joining us today. I know it's certainly proven to be a busy one for you.
It is, Janet, but it's a good day as well. Good day for the industry, for farmers, but for consumers most of all.
So what are your thoughts on the new volume obligations for 2017?
Well, as you indicated, EPA has promulgated a rule requiring refiners to blend up to 19.28 billion gallons next year, with 4.28 billion of those being advanced biofuels like biodiesel or cellulosic ethanol, meaning that 15 billion gallons would be for conventional biofuels like corn ethanol. Really what that means is that EPA now has gotten back to the statutory levels and is sending a very positive signal to the marketplace that it is firmly behind this program, and it is not going to be bullied by the oil companies. It's going to drive investments in the infrastructure necessary to allow higher ethanol blends. It's going to drive investment in new technologies, cellulosic ethanol and other advanced biofuels. And ultimately, we are on a pathway now to maximize our use of renewable fuels and not artificially constrain it with government regulations that don't make sense.
So how does the implied RVO for conventional biofuels like corn ethanol compare to maybe what was proposed in May?
Well, in May, they had proposed 14.8 billion gallons, which to us left us scratching our heads. How can you come up 200 million gallons short? But I give EPA great credit for really listening to the public comments that they had received at the hearing in June and reading the comments that they had gotten from farmers and consumers and the industry over the course of the comment period. And they recognized that they had indeed underestimated the amount of infrastructure that was out there, the amount of ethanol production that was capable of supplying these fuels, and most importantly, the consumer demand for a higher octane, lower cost renewable fuel. And having heard loud and clear what America's farmers and consumers were asking for, particularly at a time when farmers across the country are harvesting the single largest corn crop in history, and the nation's gasoline demand is on the rise, EPA promulgated a final rule today that we are very thankful for coming into Turkey Day.
Well, Bob, thank you for taking the time to join us. We certainly appreciate your time. Again, talking with Bob Dinneen. He is with the Renewable Fuels Association, joining us via phone from Washington, D.C.